Hi, welcome to the NMT Intramural Scheduler. This is a project made for CSE 389 Human-Computer Interaction by Joshua Ashinhurst, Carlos Rubio, and Franz Chavez. I'm going to go over a little bit of what this project was and what went into creating it. This system is created for use by the NMT gym during their intramural events. Currently, the only way that the NMT gym has to manage their intramural sporting events is through pen and paper documentation. But through this software online tool, we hope to allow them to manage their intramural sporting events through a more streamlined online application. This was created almost entirely with HTML, just web design in its very simple form. So there are a few different parts to this system. This is the home page that we're looking at right now. As you can see, there's a couple different tables. There's upcoming games and current team stats. There are 4 different roles that we had to keep in mind when creating the system. There were regular users, just people that come to see the games. There's the manager of the league, who is also in charge of various things at the gym or just would be managing the intramural sporting events in general. There's a referee who will be reporting the ultimate scores after the games. And there's also the team captain who's in charge of each team. So this page right here that you're looking at, like I mentioned, would be just for the regular user. They can see upcoming games as well as current team stats. And this would just be where they could see any games that they wanted to go to, as well as how well their favorite team is doing right here. So if you click on the login page at the top right, it'll take you to a little login drop-down. Currently we don't have a backend for the login, but there are a few links down here that will allow you to go to the manager, the referee, and the captain pages, so you can take a look at that. So let's take a look at the manager page. So at the manager page, it has a similar page to what we just saw, the schedule page. It has upcoming games as well as current team stats. Really no difference there. But if you go to the leagues tab, then here you have sort of the same view, but the main difference here is that they can filter by league and as well as team. And once they filter by those, they can edit the entries here, change who's playing, what day they're playing, so on and so forth. And once they're done doing that, they can click on Preview Bracket. And it takes them to the page here where they can see their bracket, they can edit the entries, do everything that they need to. And then there's also a preview of the game here on the left, or on the right, excuse me, that has the details of the game. And then once they're done with this, they click Return, and their changes are saved. Now if we go to the Players tab, it also has a drop down for the league and team. This is more for information about the players, their name, what team they're on, whether they're registered, and whether they have any holds on their account not allowing them to play. And then once the manager has made all the changes that they wanted, they can just click Update and it'll save the changes. So now let's take a look at the captain page, or the referee page, excuse me. So the referee page is similar to the manager page at first glance. It takes you to a schedule page to begin with. The main difference here is that it has a few buttons here on the right of each game that say Edit. That allows the referee to go in and change the score of the game, as well as if each player got red cards or yellow cards. And once they're done doing that, they just simply click on Save Changes, and that'll save the changes for that game. For the referee, if they click on the Leagues tab, it's identical to the manager. They can select league as well as team, and then they just edit here. And then once they're done, they click Preview Bracket, and it's identical to what the manager sees. The Players tab, once again, is exactly the same as the manager. The main difference between the manager and the referee was just the score reporting, so we left everything pretty much untouched. So now let's take a look at the captain page. The captain is really the only one that has less permissions than the other two. The one big difference is that on their schedule page, they have a little button here called Request Schedule Change. If they click on that, it brings them to a little dialog where they can select why they need a schedule change. It may be because one of their players can't make it, they have a class at the time or whatever, and then they just put the details here, and then they can confirm the request. and then that'll let the manager and the referee know that they need a different time. If they go to the Leagues tab, they have very similar interface to the referee and the manager, but the difference here is that when they look at the bracket, they can't actually save the changes. It's just to look at and preview for their own benefit. So now if you go to the Players tab, for the captain, they're able to edit all this, but it doesn't actually change anything. Only the referee and the manager have the ability to change these things. So once they click on update, the changes won't be saved, but it's just for them to look at. And yeah, that gives you a pretty good overview of our system. There's a lot of things that we need to work on the back end, but this just gives you an idea of the user interface, the things that we did to just make it look good and just hopefully make it usable for the users. And thank you very much for taking the time to view this video. If you will, just fill out the survey at the end. And thanks once again.